It's AEW review time on the Hit in the Turnbuckle podcast. Dynamite is in the books, and geez, did we have a lot of blood and guts? And no, not the cage match, just your average episode on AEW Dynamite. Now, Dynamite stuff all happened before Dynamite went on the air. Tony Storm, who was meant to be in a no holds bar match with Marina Shafir, was ambushed backstage, left bloodied and not able to compete in that no holds bar match when Dynamite started. Before when it went on air, she had blood on the back of her head. There was a bouquet of flowers, a mask as well. A lot of people are saying Ronda Rousey may have been that person that attacked Tony Storm. What about if it was Mina? Thought about that one? Have you thought about that one? Have you thought about it? No, you haven't, have you? Some of you have. I know I've seen some of you thought about it, but yeah, who has attacked Tony Storm? Mina is actually going to be her replacement in that match, but when you look at it, there's so many palpitations as to who attacked Tony Storm that we'll have to wait and see. But interesting that that's how AEW even began before it began, if that makes sense. And yeah, it could be Ronda. Could easily be Ronda Rousey. Of course, she come out at the Revolution this past weekend and had a stare down with her. But look at it a different way. Could it be Mina's jealousy because of how close she was getting to Orange Cassidy? Who knows? We'll find out. But she's not going to be committed on Dynamite. Apparently, he is legitimately injured as well, which is a real shame. And hopefully, it's not a bad injury for Tony Storm as my light gets even lighter. I hope it's not too much of a bad injury for Tony Storm. Anyway, what does AEW do better than anybody else? Wrestle. And that's exactly what we got. Opening contest, Will Ospreay, Blake Christian. Will Ospreay's first match back since injury, obviously returning at Revolution. Um, you know, it's always great seeing Will Ospreay back. Is there an argument, though, to say that this match was a little bit too competitive? I know AEW doesn't really do squash matches as such. It's done the odd one here and there. But did Blake Christian get too much offense against Will Ospreay? I don't know. Because look, um, you would have thought Ospreay would have wanted he didn't take it that that easily in this match, but you would have just thought that perhaps he just comes in, he just I'm gonna say decimates Blake Christian because that's not you get my point. There was just maybe too much offense, but look, that's what AEW's been about for many, many years. So I suppose really we've got no arguments there. He did obviously listen, Ospreay was always going to get the win in this one, but he hit two hidden blades. Overkill, I don't know. Again, you guys can be the judge of that. Um, but he did acknowledge the crowd and how he missed them, and he did say that he wants to snap neck. He said Osprey wants to snap necks with his bare fucking hands. And like John Moxley, who needs a weapon. Now here comes Mox. Now here we so this is what we've been saying recently. Death Riders against Don Callis, they are being cheered. They're kind of like a tweener gang, aren't they? Well, Mox comes out anyway, and Osprey doesn't waste any time. He goes straight after him. He throws a trash can at Mox as well. The fight spills into the ring again. Another Tiger Driver attempt. This time, Pac makes the save on Mox, and then he catches Will in a submission hold, of course, with the neck, Will getting separated between the two. And, that's where we left it on this one for now, anyway. But we'll get back to it. As I said, but this isn't over because as the Death Riders are preparing for their match against the Bang Bang Gang, including Ace Austin's a part of it, which I think is great. Osprey recovers and attacks Pac from behind, getting him out of the picture. So the Riders are down to two, which is Moxley and Wheeler Utah, and they take on basically a 3-on-2 match on Dynamite. Um, this is a bit of where I have an issue. 3-on-2. The Bang Bang Gang were this fantastic wrestling faction. Obviously, you had Jay White in there as well. They've got Ace Austin, they've got Juice Robinson, you've got the Guns, you've got an incredible faction there. We haven't seen him on Dynamite in some time. And then they come back to Dynamite and lose. They did lose this match with the Ace Austin gets pinned with a Death Rider from Mox. And you have to look at this and go, well, does that kind of render him obsolete? And is it maybe too many factions? Is there too many factions in the kitchen for AEW? It's a question for you guys. Maybe you guys can have a little answer of that and tell us what you think. But it just felt like the Bang Bang Gang of a few years ago and back now. And I love Ace Austin as well. And he's really been a weird one since coming into AEW because TNA he was fantastic and he was brilliant. And every week I was waxing lyrical about him and Chris Bay, of course. And I don't think we've seen anywhere near what Ace Austin is capable of in AEW, and it's a real shame. At the minute, anyway, listen, we've got plenty of time to go in the days of Ace Austin and AEW, I'm sure, but it's just a bit disappointing right now. And it was disappointing for the Bang Bang Gang, in my opinion, on this one, especially to lose with the advantage as well. It really didn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, what a shame. What a shame. Gabe Kidd challenged Darby Allin. This was going to be a coffin match. It's on a bit later on, but he challenged him to meet him in the car park. Oh, those car parks are bad. No matter what company you watch, they're always deadly, aren't they? Those car parks. We'll get into that in a minute, though, because before that, Kenny Omega issued a challenge to Swerve Strickland. He wants his number one contendership. That's at Swerves after the win at Brody King at Revolution. And he wants Swerve to put that contendership against MJF on the line. We'll find out Swerve's response in a minute. But we did say that Gabe Kidd wanted to meet him in the damn parking lot. Oh, Darby Allin, you know exactly where we're going. He only meets him. He tries to run the guy over. Darby Allin would be inside right now, in jail for a long time with the amount of stuff that he's done in his course of his AEW career. Um, this was just absolute batshit crazy. This match, it was nuts, absolutely nuts. I'm lost for words with what happens in this match. Darby Allin flips a car over with him and Gabe Kidd inside it, for God's sake. They go unbelievably nuts in this. I loved it. I thought it was lovely. Lovely? And it wasn't lovely. I thought it was great. Absolutely great. There was so much going on in this match. Unsurprisingly, you got a match when you got an unsanctioned, like you got a no holds bar match and a coffin match on the same show. It's crazy. But Darby Allin did win it quite in a quite unconventional circumstances. He done a suicide dive to the outside and knocked Gabe Kidd into the coffin for the victory. Darby Allin's head is a crimson mass in this. I don't know if it was from the car accident when he was in the car, when him and Gabe Kidd, when he flipped it with Gabe Kidd inside it. But he did say that he is coming for somebody, and that somebody is MJF, and he's going to hold that throttle until I see God or the AEW championship. And he says to MJF, he's coming. Well, MJF's got a big target on his back with Darby Allin. I just thought this was crazy, absolutely crazy. To be fair, Gabe Kidd like wrestling in a straitjacket as well was crazy. Look, it was just bananas, absolutely bananas. Um, you have to see it. Just go and watch it. That's all I can say. That the best way to me to explain it to you is you go and watch it and find out for yourself. Um, Jungle Boy was in his bus. Him and the Young Bucks are going against the Don Callis family, Carter and Co. A bit later on. But Swerve Strickland now. He has responded to Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega said he wants a match with Swerve and he wants Swerve to put that number one contendership on the line. Well, Swerve has agreed to it on one condition. Kenny Omega puts his EVP status on the line. Well, there you go. And what happened after Dynamite is the match is official. When do you ask? Is it going to happen at Dynasty? Oh, no, 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 no. This happens next week on AEW Dynamite, which I believe my good friend Gary Joe is going to from the FTR for Follow the Revolution page. He's not only going, he's got press passes. Couldn't happen to a nicer person and a more hardworking person that spreads positivity about AEW. My man, congratulations. I hope you have the most fantastic time next week. You're in for a damn good show, my friend. Make sure you enjoy it. Mark Bailey and Mark Davis. It's a bit of a tongue twister to make sure on this. Were next. This was great. I don't know when I saw this match, I thought, you know what, it's going to be okay. It'd be standard run of the mill stuff. No, this was really, really good. Surprised me, not because I didn't think the two guys could go, but I don't know. I just felt like, was it going to work? Were they well matched? What was going on? Bailey's the kicker, Davis is the slugger. It was great. It, you know, really, really good. And yeah, I don't know. It's extraordinary good. I don't know what to say about it. Bailey's on a roll, by the way. And I think sometimes a lot of people would look at Mike Bailey and perhaps go, really? If you don't miss it, you don't know what he's like in the ring. He is great. And Mark Davis is slowly finding his footing, predominantly a tag team wrestler. He's now becoming a really solid singles wrestler, and I'm really enjoying watching him compete on Dynamite and compete in AEW as a single. I know with Jake, I'm going to say Jake something, but with him out injured, Mark Davis again, and he's had to do this before. He's been injured when he got Fletcher got injured as well. So Mark Davis as a single is gonna be real. It could be like a Brody King, obviously with the House of Black and Alice and obviously Malachi leaving, Buddy getting injured. Brody's had to come into his own. Mark Davis is going in that same route as what those guys were. This was a great match, really, really, really good match, and Mike Bailey hits the Ultima weapon for the victory, and Mark Bailey will continue to rise, and he's got Cole Fletcher in his sights, folks. Um, MJF, he was having an interview post his victory over Hangman Page. Now, Hangman Page is going to take some time away from AEW. That is confirmed. So when Hangman comes back, we don't know. What we do know is he won't be able to, well, have a match for the AEW World Championship. But MJF was bragging that he's had the best dog collar match, the best Iron Man match, and now the best Texas Death Match in wrestling history. And he then says that he was going to Disneyland. Fair play, fair play, fair play, MJF, fair play. Deserve it. We There was a little bit about I forgot to mention. I'm just looking down at my notes here because I've got it right up the top corner. Tony Schiavone on commentary with Brian Danielson during the Death Riders match. It was like Brian Danielson was like, "Hey, he's ugly with his hair, without his hair," and Schiavone's oh, he's always fucking ugly. It was brilliant. I have to forgot about that. I can take that off now. That was great. But now Okada and Co were backstage. Now again, he says that he's the only one loyal to Don Callis, unlike Takeshita, because Takeshita shook hands with Moxley at the end of their match, done their bow at the end of their match at Revolution. So we're still seeing that. The Death Riders bit has died off a little bit, but the Don Callis family and their issues with Takeshita and Okada is now becoming center stage. And I'm wondering if now that's going to happen before we see the Death Riders, or will it happen maybe at the same time on the same show and one helps the other? There you go. You heard it here first, chaps, lads and lassies. But yeah, interesting. Right. No holds barred. As we know, Tony Storm was out the equation. Marina Shafir against Mina. Yeah, Mina. I'm going to just say because otherwise I'd just embarrass myself. Um, it was awkward, I think, this. I don't know. something it didn't hit right, this one. It really didn't. There was a backdrop onto a table in this match. That was pretty freaky. Um, it was just like the whole match just felt like it was at a snail's pace. Um, yeah, I didn't, I didn't it didn't have what it could have had Tony Storm had been there, in my opinion. The fact that they both come out of this match without being seriously injured. I mean, the backdrop table. Mina was missed it, majority of it. It was Marina that went through it really, and she was the one delivering the move. So it was a little bit again awkward in parts. Didn't have that oomph, that we were looking for, in my opinion, for this match. But nevertheless, they both come out without serious injury. Mina, fuck's sake. Mina hits the backhand with the spike power driver for the victory, and she wins a no holds barred match, which is, cool, which is good, and she wins. Would Tony Storm have won it? I don't know. Would have it had more Ronda Rousey? I don't know. We'll have to see. Andrade was next, and it was quite weird because he was talking about his great win and his great match against Bandido, and he's approached by John Cruz. Although who's like, who's John Cruz? Well, you see the memes when someone's flying through the air and Samoa Joe's walking away, and John Cruz is like, "What?" That's John Cruz, and Serpentico as well. I haven't seen him in years. Anyway, they urge Andrade to accept the briefcase, and Cruz at this point has Don Callis on FaceTime. And Callis tells MJF that Andrade is his money man and he should accept the money. Andrade was questioning it, but MJF wants Darby Allin gone, is the short and curlies of this. And the Don Callis family will handle that job for MJF. And reluctantly, and it is reluctantly, Andrade does accept Zed briefcase. Oh, briefcase. Anyway, um, Jack Perry and the Young Bucks versus Klitschko Okada, Trent Barretta, and Rocky Romero in this. Good match. Good match. Um, what was I going to say? Yeah, I was going to say more about what happened after. Yeah, good match for this one. Um, the Bucks and Jack Perry win with the running knee strike and Rocky Romero, and then this is where it was the main event match, but not the segment. The segment was the main event, which I thought was quite strange. Edge and Christian, Adam Copeland, sorry, and Christian come out. Uh, um, you know, talking about FTR. Ultimately, what happens here is that we get a match between FTR and FTR, Cope and Cage at Dynasty in a couple of weeks' time for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. In my opinion, either the Bucks will screw Adam Copeland, and Christian out of this title match, or they may get involved and make it a DQ. And I think we get to either, maybe we don't get to All In, but my opinion on this is that perhaps the Bucks cause a DQ in that match. FTR retain. The Bucks take on FTR. Copeland and Christian calls a DQ at the next pay-per-view, the one maybe the one before All In. When we go to All In, Cope Christian, Young Bucks, FTR in some form of tables, ladders, and chairs match. I said this about on Revolution, by the way, the other day, that I felt as if we could have been going in that direction. In my opinion, we are going to go in that direction. And why not All In? Why not me be a bit selfish and have this, and the UK fans have it? Why not? I know you American fans, well, we don't get it. Well, we want it, all right. We may get Osprey and Omega yet. We may get that as well. Sorry, not sorry. But we may get that. All In tickets have gone on sale. By the way, ticketmaster.com. Go and get yourself to All In. Hey, listen to this. We talk about cheap tickets and we talk about ticket sales. Granted, they're the bleachers. The bleachers for the Raw show at the O2 on June the 22nd were £197 plus taxes. The cheapest all-in ticket you can get, granted, is at the top of Wembley Stadium, £31 plus taxes. Need I say more? Big disappointment this week, the crowd. I thought the crowd was shocking this week. I really did. Coming off the back of that massive pay-per-view, crowd were electric. That was bad. Did not enjoy that one bit. But I tell you what I did enjoy, and it's my match of the night. Speedball Mike Bailey versus Mark Davis. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm really going to enjoy that again. I'd like to see that again, to be quite honest. Obviously, moving towards Copeland and that. Little bit disappointing that we didn't get a bit of MJF as in on the actual show live rather than a pre-tape. It kind of, your world champion isn't there. I don't know. I just weren't a fan of that. The coffin match was great, of course. No holds bar match, yeah, it wasn't that great, but still a very, very good Dynamite to come off the back of Revolution. That was the AEW review. We've got a lot more stuff coming your way on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. And make sure you go to our YouTube, go and have a look. Spotify, just go and have a look. There's so much stuff on there. The YouTube has got so much playlists as well. We've got so many interviews. We've got more review shows and a lot more dropping. So keep it locked on our channel at HTT Buckle everywhere. But until next time, everybody, stay elite, stay safe, and goodbye.